Hello, here we are with an unboxing of the HTC 8S Windows Phone. As you can see, we've got the fairly standard HTC packaging. Let's run through some of the specifications quickly. Also known as the A620E Windows Phone 8. Got the Qualcomm S4 1GHz dual-core processor, micro SIM, 4GB of internal storage, but we've got a micro SD slot on this Windows Phone. We've got a 4-inch Super LCD display, Beats audio built in, a 5-megapixel camera with autofocus, LED flash, 720p video recording, 3.5mm headphone jack, GPS, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, all built in as standard. So let's get this out of the packaging and take a look. So it's a bit tricky to get this outer sleeve off. And then here we go. Here's the device itself, which we'll come back to in just a moment. Also included, you get stickers with the serial number, seals for the box, you get a quick start guide, you get your warranty information with Contact Us, further information on the warranty, regulatory information, a little bit of Windows Phone bump there with your sort of serial number. And then, as you'd come to expect, we've got a 3-pin UK mains adapter with a USB port on the top, into which we will connect this, the supplied USB cable. So it's got a full USB connection on one end and a micro USB connector on the other. You can use this to connect the device to a computer, or for indeed connecting to the mains adapter and charging the phone. And then we've got a set of basic in-ear headphones, 3.5mm connection there for hands-free cooling. So taking a closer look at the device here then, so this is in the blue, or Atlantic blue I think its proper name is, and you can see we've got the 4-inch display on the front here. We've got the Windows key, back sort of home and search key. It's a two-tone colour. We've got this sort of darker blue up the top and then this lighter blue down the bottom. It actually looks quite nice. You know, different colours from black and white aren't for everyone, but these colours coming out on these Windows phones are a little bit different and a little bit sort of more interesting than the basic sort of blacks and greys that we see on a lot of devices. So on the back here is the 5-megapixel camera with LED flash. We've got the HTC logo sort of embossed there and finished in silver. We've got the Beats audio logo and then a rear speaker. Down the bottom here we've got a micro USB connector. We've got the microphone coming around to the side. It's completely flush this side. We've got the 3.5mm headphone jack on the top. We've got the power button. Then coming around to the other side we've got a volume rocker key, and then we've got a dedicated camera button, something that we don't see on a lot of devices, but it's becoming more apparent on the Windows Phones devices. And then it's under this blue cover here, which let's see if we can take this off, here we go, that you've got the micro SD memory card slot here, and you've got then your micro SIM card slot, so it takes a micro SIM and a micro SD. Now the 8S, whilst perhaps not the most talked about device in comparison to the 8X or the Nokia Lumias, this is a really attractive handset, not only because of the price, but because of the size. It's got a 4-inch display, which makes it a little bit more comfortable in hand, and not everybody wants the massive sort of 4.8 and 5-inch style sort of screens we're seeing on devices now. And this also benefits from the fact that it actually has the micro SD card slot, something that a lot of devices do not have as well. So whilst the internal memory isn't particularly big, you've got the option to expand the memory through the micro SD card slot. So we're going to get this powered on and give you a little tour of the software on the Windows Phone. Okay, so we've booted up the phone now and we're at the home screens. You know, this experience is very typical of any Windows phone. There's not a lot that sort of jumps out and you screams that this is a HTC product. You can see that it's got HTC here, and this allows you to sort of get a little bit more of a feel for the personalisation you get from HTC. So they've got their weather app, stocks, news, and you can add more from the little menu here if you want to get your location. You can come out of that. So there's a little bit of personalisation there from HTC. Now, being Windows phones, you get all these nice sort of live tiles, which are becoming very popular. We're seeing them heavily advertised at the moment in terms of bringing you information right at your home screen, which you can't get on a lot of other operating systems. So we can press and hold on a tile and we can sort of move it about to configure the sort of setup how we want it to be. We can make it smaller, bigger, move it about, and simply, you know, decide how we want the layout of the home screen to be, and that applies to any of the widgets here. So we've got standard sort of default text message that comes up when you set up the phone. Of course, it works in portrait and landscape mode, and the on-screen keyboard on Windows Phone is pretty good. That's a read-only message, so we can't reply, but if we create a new message here, we can type away on the keyboard quite happily there. We've got the Windows key, it takes us back to the home screen. Now you can't orientate in landscape mode really. Here, you can click on photos and we can be taken into our albums and things here, and this can all sync with the cloud, with services that we may have. So camera, we haven't actually taken any pictures as yet, but we've got the ones that come supplied as standard. Now you've seen those plenty of times over. I can click on the camera here and explains that we haven't taken any pictures yet. So if I click the camera key, I'll be taken into the camera application, and here we've got the 5 megapixel camera. So I can control the flash on or off, and we get these nice notifications up here. I can flick between video and stills. Now you don't have the option to just press one shutter button and it take either video or photo from one screen like you do on Android devices. You do have to flick between the different modes. We can then switch here into what's called Bing Vision, and you can allow searches based on your location here. And you can use Bing Vision there to scan barcodes, QR codes, Microsoft tags, books, CDs and DVDs. Quite an innovative little feature there to actually have. We've got the settings here, and we can go into the photo settings and choose effects that we might want. We can choose the resolution that the picture is actually shot at. Got white balance, exposure, quite a few there, so we can come back out of there. Oh, tapped on the screen there, so that's taken a picture. We've got video settings as well. And then you've got the dedicated camera button on the top here that you can use to take the picture. So it's actually quite quick at taking the picture and loading. Let's see from the home screen, can we access the camera quickly here? We can. So within a couple of seconds you're into the actual camera application from the actual home screen, and you can use the arrow that you saw there. Let's go back into the camera application. You can use the arrow to get your gallery of pictures that you've taken with the device. So back at the home screen, we can flick across and we've got a list of programs and applications that we've got installed in here. Fairly standard really: Internet Explorer, your maps, your messaging, your music, your office, your phone. Let's just click into the phone. We haven't got a SIM card inserted, but you can go to your voicemail, you can go to the dialer, fairly standard. Back here, and if we go then into the settings, we've got helps and tips there as well. We've got store and wallet. We can go into the settings further. Now of course we can change the ringtones and a lot of stuff. We can change the language on this device as well. And this isn't a full video showing all the languages, but you can see we're in English at the moment, but we've got popular language such as Arabic on here for you to actually choose from if you want to use that as well. Again, in the settings, we've got the option to share the internet on here, so this is 3G enabled. You've got your Bluetooth, your Wi-Fi. You've got the kids corner, which is a feature that's being heavily advertised at the moment to essentially make it safer for kids to use your phone without worry of them doing things that you wouldn't want them to do. Go in and find more information about your phone and upgrade it as well. Let's just show you the Internet Explorer on here. Now we're connected over Wi-Fi. It's not particularly strong Wi-Fi signal where we are, so it's going to be a little bit slower than you would probably experience, but just go to the Clove website. So it's gone to our mobile site because we're coming from a mobile device, but we can go to the desktop view and view it like we would on a desktop. We can pinch into the screen. We can go and view product pages quite happily. Again, we can do the orientation in portrait or landscape mode, depending on your preference. One thing I have noticed about this screen, it's not a fault of the device, it just feels a bit more resistive. It's not as sort of slippy as some screens. When you scroll across the screen, there's just a little bit more resistance, in my opinion, which kind of works as a good thing. It stops against some of those accidental presses and taps, and just makes it a bit more assertive when you have to touch the actual screen rather than being able to accidentally tap things. So that's just a quick look at the HTC 8S available from clove.co.uk.